Greetings, Earth folk. Namaste. So, I'm gonna try out this narration thing because all the audio for this video pretty much sucked. So I deleted it, and I'm just gonna narrate over it, showing off the winter damage. This poor garden. See that? Just crunch, wither away, and fall. Watermelon, squish, 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 squish. Not good. Watermelon died, the cantaloupe died. So, pulled the cantaloupe. Trying to cut this watermelon, fucking thing won't cut. These things are dull as shit, so I figured I'd just stomp on it. Rip it off. There we go. Squish, 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 squish. Look at this poor garden. Green onions are doing good though, so that's a good thing. All the watermelons dead. Kale looks beautiful. Honestly, they're still growing back, so that's all good. Look at that purple. It's just a beautiful color. It really is. Look at that. Oh yeah. Avocado is still looking pretty good. It's still growing. White flies are minimizing, but they're still there. And the peppermints are looking pretty good. Some spots, the rest of it's still pretty tore out from the caterpillars. But some spots are growing back, looking good. Let's see how long that lasts. For the main reason of this video, bell pepper. The leaves look like shit, but the peppers are looking pretty good. You can see this one's starting to turn black, and then it'll turn red. So I'm going to leave those on there. There's going to be one I'm going to take off, but I'll show you that. I'm going to leave this one on there though. Let it ripen up. And the other ones. These two right here. Actually, those two, that branch currently snapped off. That's why it's leaning over. The wind broke it. So I cut it off. Took that one inside. Let those hopefully do something. Little baby pepper. These are the two biggest ones. Look at that. And this one right here is one I'm going to take off. That big one right there. And the reason why I'm going to take it off is because I noticed on the bottom, and I would have left it on, but I noticed right down there, it's starting to split a little bit. So I'm going to cut that one off. I don't want it to get any more damage. Another pretty good sized one right here. I wish these were hot peppers, but they're not. So it's snip time. Poor watermelon. And I'm about to cut these and I'm like, hold up. These are dull as shit. Put the safety back on. Put them back. These ones right here are much better. I got all those from a yard sale for like 30 bucks. Not as much of a steal as I wanted, but it was alright. And there's some mud on there. I'm not trying to cut that thing open. There's mud on this. On those, so it's just, or dirt. So it's just tapping it off, scraping it off. First person mode. Snip, snip. So yeah. Snip. Nope, snip. Dang it. Missed both of those. Alright. Let's check this out in the sunlight. I wanted to put the Lion King theme right here, but I don't have it, and I really don't want to mess with all that right now. Been actually trying to work on this damn video for weeks. I'm sorry, 1 week. A week and a half. Basil looks pretty good. It's getting nice and bushy. Getting little flowers on it. I just want this one to go all the way because it's the only one I have, so Pepper down there in the bottom left is looking all right. It's growing back, starting to flower. Lettuce is looking pretty good. It's actually growing more, which is good. It's a cold weather one. I'm trying to let it go to seed. The potato, this one's still going. The other one that I had right there died. Or actually, I think it got eaten by something. That lettuce kind of looks crappy right now, but it's still going. There's a new compost pile. All the stuff I've been bringing home from work, plus leaves and all that. There's the old compost pile, so what all that shit will turn into eventually. Could have chopped those branches up a little more, but it's gonna sit till springtime. Now inside the little tent, I put over the tomatoes and all that, so that way hopefully it would hold in some heat, because none of these get sunlight anyways. So I put the tent over it to hopefully hold in some heat. Didn't really work too much, and I threw that extra light in there also. And then in the worm bin right there on the top, that top bin in bubble wrap, some chia seeds. Now, there was a storm last night. Not the night of the video, but beforehand, or no, the last night of the night that I'm recording the audio for this. So on the 9th, there was a storm, and by the way, that potato is dead now. That plant's dead. That's some more spearmint, still looking good. That little mini greenhouse I just showed with the chia seeds and all that, the wind blew that whole thing over. Almost blew the tent stuff off, so me and my mom took it all down. But the tomatoes are still good. They're still going. These little grape tomatoes here, still flowering, still producing, so I'm not too worried about it. And these are not T5 lights, these are T8s, for anybody who knows shit about that. That's just what I use to start my my plants indoors. But a lot of these have died, a lot of them have started turning, just because, not the tomatoes themselves, just the leaves. And this, I don't know what that spot is, I hope it's not too bad, but it's not really spreading or getting larger, so that's good. And all these are still producing, even though they get absolutely no direct sunlight at all. Literally at all, during any point of the day, minus the tent. Even if the tent wasn't there, none of those get direct sunlight at all. And a cantaloupe I did have on the other side, where the other tomato was, that one died also. And I took a picture and stuff of the inside, where it was like a little bit bigger than a softball. It looked pretty good. You know, we ate some of it, most of it. It wasn't completely done, but it was good enough to eat, I guess. And those tomatoes right there are actually pretty much all red right now. Just those 3 right before these 3. Hopefully I'll put some music in the background. This narration thing seems weird, especially if there's no background audio. I'm just showing off the progress and all the tomatoes. There's a lot of tomatoes now. Well, alright, this is my first time gardening. Okay, so all of this is like really cool to me anyways. Except all these dead leaves here. Crunch. This little grape tomato plant right here, I accidentally snapped it right there. So I tied it back together with some twine. And then it produced. Kept going, kept growing. So I was like, hey, why not? Glad I didn't just rip it out. Because I almost did. I almost ripped that plant out. But I saved it. Yay me. So for me, having, you know, at least 20 plus tomatoes growing that I grew myself, it's pretty amazing for me. Hopefully they keep growing, because the grape tomatoes are ripening, they're turning red, but these are the larger tomatoes and they're still this small, but they're still growing. But that bunch is on them. That plant's pretty much all dead, the one that those are on. Crunch, 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 crunch. I wanted to leave the audio in for that part, but I forgot about it and erased it. Alright, let's get out of here. Messy porch. Actually, I'm going to go right back in there because I'm going to cut up that bell pepper. Now, besides me just you know, showing off my first fruit or my first vegetable, you know, and that's all I'm doing is observing it, checking out the thickness, the color, the seeds, you know, because I grew it. It's not something I bought from the store. I grew this, so it's amazing for me. So that's what I'm doing, is pretty much just showing off something that I did. It's not like, hey, you guys ever seen one of these? But besides me showing off my first, you know, the fruit of my labor, I'm also going to show you motherfuckers how to cut a bell pepper. Cut the top off, cut the bottom off, and you can use those. And then you cut down the side of it, and then you cut out the seed pod. Just like that. And then what you're left with, well, besides the seed pod, I'm just checking out the quality of the seeds too. I don't know if those are good or not, but and this is what you're left with. You do it right, that's what you get. A beautiful strip of bell pepper. You can slice and dice any way you want. You don't got to worry about anything else. Just unfold it like a piece of paper and cut it up. And yeah. So now the bell pepper looks good to me. Worked in restaurants most of my life, so I know that that looks like a good bell pepper. So it's time for the taste test. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it. So thanks for watching. Namaste.
That's good.
Much love to all the friends, family, and co-workers. It just popped into my head. Peace.